Today is about honoring their memory, and we will also look back at the stars we have recently lost before we start. We kindly ask for your support if this video or the lives of these amazing people have touched you. Please think about giving this video a thumbs up as a way to show respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 9. Greg Hildebrandt, a true artist with vision, whose work has made a lasting mark on science fiction and fantasy. Born on January 23, 1939. Greg and his twin brother Tim changed the art world with their famous works known as the Brothers Hildebrandt. Together they gave their hearts to every brushstroke, creating masterpieces that sparked the imagination of generations. Greg's art was more than a career. It was his life mission, a path of dedication and creativity that earned him a place in pop culture history. Greg's rise to fame began in 1977, when he and Tim created the Style B poster for Star Wars, a piece that has since become a cultural icon. Along with Star Wars, the Hildebrandt brothers won the hearts of fantasy fans with their detailed Lord of the Rings calendars. In the 1970s, each work opened a new world filled with depth, emotion, and wonder. Greg's art went even further as he worked on projects for Marvel Comics and Magic: The Gathering, each adding to his legacy and touching fans who found comfort and inspiration in his art. With great success also came hard challenges. In 1977, Greg and Tim faced a 36-hour deadline to finish the Star Wars poster, a task that made them work non-stop with barely a break. This moment of full effort showed their passion and drive, setting a standard in the art world that inspired many artists. It was not just talent, but teamwork, strength, and perseverance that set the brothers apart. With sadness, we remember Greg, who passed away on October 31st in 2024 in Denville, New Jersey, from problems with his heart medicine. Even in his last days, Greg held on to hope and love of life, a true sign of his character that inspired everyone who knew him. His courage through hard times is a guide to those he touched, reminding us of the power of creativity and the beauty in not giving up. Greg Hildebrandt's legacy lives in his timeless art, which has become cultural icons that keep inspiring and lifting fans around the world. His art, rooted in fantasy and science fiction, has left a deep impact, a gift to people that will last for generations. We ask you to share your memories and celebrate the life of an artist whose passion created new worlds, leaving us in awe of what he made. Number 8. Kris Radcliffe, a loved journalist and news anchor whose legacy is deeply tied to the heart of Texas. Known for his long career at KCN-TV, Radcliffe was more than just a broadcaster. He was a trusted friend and voice in many homes. As the host of Texas Today, he did not just report the news, he brought community stories to life with warmth and care. Every show felt like a visit from an old friend, creating a bond that went past the screen and into the hearts of viewers. Radcliffe's career was built on both passion and strength, the hard work of journalism, giving true information under pressure and adjusting to the fast changes in media was not easy, but Radcliffe faced every test with dedication and calm. Whether learning new tools or changing his style to connect with audiences, he stayed loyal to good journalism. His flexibility and strong duty earned the trust of viewers and the respect of peers, setting a standard of honesty in the field. Through it all, Radcliffe kept a professionalism that was steady and inspiring. He built his career with respect and truth, never seeking drama or losing his values to co-workers. He was a role model to audiences. He was a trusted source of truth. His devotion to honest, kind journalism and his respect for the community made him a clear example of integrity in the news world. On October 30th, 2024, Kris Radcliffe passed away, leaving behind a deep loss. His legacy is one of kindness, strength, and loyalty to journalism. He inspired not only his viewers, but also new journalists, urging them to follow their work with heart and purpose. Kris Radcliffe's memory will live on, reminding us of the power of real storytelling and the strong effect of a life lived with purpose in news. We invite you to share your respect for his legacy on a scale from 0 to 10. Let us know how his work and warmth touched your life. Feel free to share memories or moments that stood out. Thank you for joining us in honoring Kris and his unforgettable life. Number 7. Brian Tesler, a pioneer in British television whose impact and work reshaped the field. Born in 1929. Tesler began his career with the BBC, where his talent in production and sharp eye for strong content quickly made him stand out. These early years built a solid base for his path, giving him the chance to form a clear vision that would later help him leave a lasting mark on television. Tesler's path through broadcasting showed a steady drive for excellence, a trait that defined his career in the 1960s. Tesler made the key move to ITV, marking the start of his main role in commercial television as he stepped into top jobs at ABC Television and then Thames Television as director of programs. Tesler brought in a wide mix of new shows that pulled in audiences across the United Kingdom. His program choices did more than entertain. They set new bars, making British commercial television a model for quality around the world. His work during this period built his name as a force for change, with shows still honored and praised today. Moving from public to commercial television was not without tests, but Tesler managed to balance quality with market demand with skill. He built creative teams that shared his passion for stories, and together they pushed past hurdles to bring content that was both rich and lasting. Tesler's method showed his clear vision and strength, proving that high-level television could grow in a business model, giving an example that would guide future leaders. On October 31, 2024, Brian Tesler passed away at the age of 95. With his family and friends near, his legacy lives on in television, not only in the shows he helped create, but also in the standards of skill and art he left behind. Future media workers will keep finding strength in his work, carrying on his vision for quality and new ideas. Tesler's life is a reminder of the power of hard work and the lasting mark one person can leave on an entire field. Number 6. Robert C. Morgan, a visionary in the world of conceptual art and a respected critic who left a deep legacy. On October 23, 2024, at the age of 81, known for his devotion to both making art and critical thought, Morgan joined Eastern and Western ideas, inviting people to link with wider paths of meaning. His art was never only visual. It was an event that touched the spirit, urging us to look into the many levels of truth in each work. In his recent show, Loner is Given to Love at David Richard Gallery, Morgan gave a bold set of geometric metal-blended paintings. These works showed his study of strict minimal form, joining sharp lines with human flaws. Each piece held its own power, showing a fine link between order and chance that pulled viewers into a close and quiet journey. His art showed the grace of flaws and the worth of peace within rules beyond his canvas work. Morgan's role as a critic and art voice was just as strong. His writings on figures like Bruce Nauman and Clement Greenberg shaped the views of both artists and students alike. With his sharp notes, Morgan tied old forms with new ones, pushing a fresh wave of artists to seek truth and depth in their craft. His words were not just reviews, but insights that pushed and grew the art world's view of itself. Though Robert C. Morgan has left us, his spirit and love live on. In his art and in his words, he leaves behind a path of clear thought, artistic honor, and a true drive to test limits. As we recall and praise his life, let us mark his role by thinking on the ways his work has moved and sparked us, making sure his vision goes on to fuel art and new thought for years ahead. Number 5. Doc Harris, a true legend in radio and voice work, whose deep, strong voice became a loved sound in the lives of fans across the world. His career started on the radio, where his warm, rich tone and rare skill for showing feeling quickly made him stand out, but it was his role as the voice of Dragon Ball Z that forever marked his spot in pop culture. Through his words, Harris gave a bold mix of force and depth to each scene, turning fights and moving moments into lasting memories for many fans. His passing on October 5, 2024, leaves a great loss in the hearts of those who grew up with his voice, guiding them through some of the most thrilling tales of their youth. Harris's skill as a voiceman went far beyond simple telling. His voice did not just explain the action, it pulled in listeners, placing them in the heart of the story and making a link between the people and the crowd. For Dragon Ball Z fans, his voice was more than part of the show. It was a dear part of their young years, a sound kept in mind long after each part ended. Doc Harris was not just a radio man or a voice man. He was a true tale-maker, one who raised voice work into an art that touched millions, even with his wins and the love of fans. Harris faced trials mainly with his health. In his last years during his hospital stays, he was held by care and support from kin, friends, and fans who gave him hope and strength as he bravely faced his fights. Even in hard times, Harris showed strong will, his drive and hope standing as proof of the force that marked both his job and his life. Doc Harris leaves a mark filled with love, respect, and high praise. His role in anime and radio will be kept not just for its skill, but for the joy and drive it gave to so many lives as a ground-making voiceman, and a key part of Dragon Ball Z. Harris's mark will live on in the hearts of fans and new groups, holding his place as a loved name in the world of voicecraft. His voice may now be still, but his spirit will go on to ring for years ahead. Number 4. Warren Wilson, a groundbreaker in radio news, and a lasting sign of care and bravery. Warren passed at the age of 90, leaving a great mark in news work he began in the 1960s as one of the first black news voices in Los Angeles. Over more than 40 years, he built a job based on truth and honor, shaping the face of news and setting a guide for the next groups. In 1984, Warren joined KTLA, where he was known not just for telling the news, but for his rare way that gave calm to the towns he served. He did not just report tales. He built links, often standing up for people, and even helping to bring safe ends for those facing law charges. His kind style earned trust and honor, making him a source of strength for folks in their hard times. His skill for joining care with news was new, and he became a dear name, showing hope and peace through his career. Warren saw and told of some of history's most key times, from the loss of Robert F. Kennedy to the riots of 1992 in L.A. Warren's calm and bold telling showed the truth of those times. With care and respect, one key moment came during the riots when he spoke with a shopman on the roof of a burning site, a strong scene that showed both the fight of a city in pain and the role of a newsman set on showing the human side of each tale. Warren's work won high praise with an Emmy and a Peabody, each marking his truth and calm under stress. On September 27, 2024, Warren Wilson passed, yet his path of care, grit, and service lives on in his 6 kids and stepgirl. As we recall Warren Wilson, we cheer not only the newsman, but also the man whose care and courage still push us, not only in his work in news, but also in his place as a voice of care and heart in hard times. His spirit will stay with us, showing the true mark one person can make by giving their life to truth and care. Number 3. Nick Gravenites, a famed bluesman born on October 2, 1938, in the lively city of Chicago. Nick was more than a player. He was a tale-teller who poured the real raw soul of the blues into each word and sound, working with greats like Janis Joplin and Paul Butterfield. He became a strong force in U.S. music, shaping songs filled with deep truth and strong feeling. His voice and guitar were not just tools, but the speech of his heart, reaching people and drawing them into a shared world of grief and joy. During his years with the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, Gravenites gave blues rock new spark, and drive songs like Born in Chicago showed the hard and real fights of a time. His music was more than show. It was a call for change and grit, a place where fans found care and release in the 1960s and 70s. His work did not just follow the age, it set its tone, striking with those seeking truth and peace. In rough times, his solo path grew this bond with works like My Labors, showing raw views of his soul. His music felt like a close talk, a place where fans could find a mate, and ease to many. He was not just a singer, but a dear friend whose voice held them through their own trials. On September 18, 2024, Nick Gravenites passed at the age of 85 after a long fight with health pains, yet his soul stays on, living in the hearts of those moved by his tunes, though his voice is still his mark, keeps singing, ringing through the years. As we honor Nick Gravenites, we praise a life lived full in song, a path where each word and note held the truth of his soul, a mark of grit and truth that will go on to lift all who hear. Number 2. Tina Ansa, a gifted tale-maker, born on November 18, 1949 in the soulful town of Macon, Georgia. Her writing held the warmth and wisdom of her southern roots, mainly Pleasant Hill, a place that gave her a strong sense of home and self, which glowed through each page she made. She began her path as a news writer for the Atlanta Constitution, but it was as a book writer that she found her true call, shaping tales that praised the strength, grit, and spirit of Black women. Her first book, Baby of the Family, printed in 1989, became an instant classic, named as one of the New York Times top books of the year. It gave a strong look at kin self and passed so strong that it was later named among the 25 books each Georgian should read. She went on to grow the Southern book line with works like Ugly Ways in 1995, The Hand I Fan With in 1998, and You Know Better in 2002. Each tale filled with culture, faith, and timeless wisdom. She drew readers into worlds where mystery and daily life joined with ease beyond her books. Anna gave her time to teach and guide leading students at Spelman College and Emory University. Her role grew a new wave of tale-makers, making sure her mark would live in many voices to come. In 2007, her love for Black culture and story work took her to new creative paths, further fixing her spot as a strong voice in books through her own press, Down South Press, which she made to lift Black voices. Anna built a key space in books. Her drive to guide and her care for her town made sure that missed voices would always have a place in the wide talk of culture. This work made her a light of hope and push for many. In her later years, she found calm and spark on St. Simon's Island, Georgia, where she lived with her husband. Film Man John Anna, the soft beat of coast life and the lands she loved, filled her late work with a quiet grace. Tina Ansa passed on September 10, 2024, leaving a deep loss in the book world. Yet her role lives on through her tales, and the waves of readers and writers she raised. Her mark is one of grit, grace, and the lasting soul of Southern Black life, a gift that will spark for years. Number 1. Simon Cowell's name stands as one of the most strong voices in modern music beyond his skill for making world stars. Cowell became a home name for his sharp, straight style on TV. His gift to join truth with shows set a new stage for talent, shows turning them into big culture events. Cowell's path has not been free of trials with public eyes and personal lows, yet he has always found ways to grow, proving his grit and drive. Today he stays a strong force in show, with a mark built on finding real skill, shaping lives and changing how crowds see both music and TV, and giving more time to his health, family, and long-term life goals. Even with the harsh hit from his crash, he made a great comeback back to TV, with the same sharp style and strong will that marked his life. His strength in beating such a hard time fixed his place as a name of force and grit. Today, Simon Cowell still leads the world of show, both as a scout of skill and as a TV man. His path shows not only his smart mind and eye for skill, but also his gift to shift and thrive in the face of trials, making sure his mark stands as one of the most strong and lasting names in music and TV. For his love for his home mainly his mate Lauren Silverman, and their son Eric. Fatherhood has brought a soft side to Cowell, giving balance to his sharp on-screen self with real warmth and care. Off TV, he has given much time to good works, helping kids groups animal care and wide aid through both his job wins and his home goals. Simon Cowell stands as more than just a music boss. He is a sign of grit, reach and care, whose mark on show and culture will stay for years to come. For his kind work, he has backed many good groups, mainly in health and child care. His acts show clear drive to use his fame for wide good, from raising funds for kids with hard ills to backing health study. Cowell has made change by giving his name to true needs through his steady drive and kind heart. He has become more than a showman. He stands for grit and reach. His rise from music man to TV giant is proof of his strength and fire. His path shows wins past hard times, a focus on growth of his brand, and a lasting spot in shaping both the field and the world. We ask you to think on Simon Cowell's rare path, a tale filled with fire, grit, and true change. It is more than just a tale of fame. It is one of beating trials, learning from life, and sparking millions. Share how his tale has touched you and cheer a man whose strength and care have left a lasting mark on show and more.